Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing, testing.
What's up, Marcin? How you, man? Hey guys, we out of here early tonight, man. I mean, the first two items, the annexations we're gonna table, and all we gotta do is approve the bank accounts, then bills payable. Hey man, wasn't that cool the other night, huh?
It was cool. Yeah, she likes it. She run it again, she says, so she really likes it.
How long she been in office? Oh, so she's at her first term.
Yeah, she did. She picked up for 2 years and then she moved.
Oh, so she took the place of somebody? All right. So she finished that out. Now she gonna. Now she going for it, huh?
I don't know, but we're gonna do it before. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. I say it all the time, and I say it again over and over again. No such thing as part-time if you want to do it right. People deserve full-time representation.
Take some of your time. If you do it right, it takes some time.
Yeah?
You don't realize that. Actually, you ended up doing it.
Hey, good to see you. What's up? Good. Hey, young man.
Check your email.
Yeah, I did. I was just checking. I checked out a couple of things on there. I was just looking at Dale Mitchell's The Noble Gala.
So just let me know.
Right on, my brother. Let's get in and out this joke today. We tabling two major things. We tabling.
I'm just being nosy.
No, that's all right. No, need to share. We tabling one, two, those two things, and then the other things should just be simple
Okay.
and bills payable and no executive session.
So remember that girl, Renita Hill, that came up here and said that, well, we went to court today. She got convicted. So Sonia was there, and that girl Robin was there.
I'm sure.
I don't know if they're going to show up today.
I wouldn't doubt it. What she get convicted of?
Resisting and disorder. So I don't know if they're going to show up.
That motherfucking Sonya and all of everybody's shit, man.
So we'll see what happens. Just let you know, she got convicted.
Yeah. And
Okay, I was going to let Liz know when she get it.
yeah, is she going? That's not her first one, is it? No, I think she might have to sit down for a hot minute.
They probably. She was in there pleading her case, poor black child, my parents, nobody cares about her.
Well, maybe it calm my
She
ass
got a
down.
bunch of.
I know she do. That's what make me think that. That's what make me think that they might just have to do a message. clerk ain't coming? These and Fulcher. Hey, Chris, you got an additional chair? Yep, that's what I'm gonna get. Okay.
Test.
What? No, I'm tabling just the annexation. Yes. Yeah. So I told you table these annexations on the first two, and you got your stuff ready for ARPA, and that's very, very good because fuck them people. I mean. Okay, very. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is now called to order. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Do. Present and accounted for. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Trustee McFadden. Present. Trustee Folger.
Present.
Trustee Thompson.
Present.
Trustee Williams. Here. Trustee Brooks. Present. Mayor Rudez.
I am here, Madam Clerk. Let's please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. All right, unfinished business, none. Consent agenda. I'll need a motion from the board to, I ask to make a motion to table these items, item 2A and item 2B.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee McFadden.
Both sides.
Trustee Folger.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams. Both sides. Trustee Brooks. Aye. Mayor Rudez.
I vote aye, Madam Clerk.
Mayor, before you proceed,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to ask the board, I'd like to put forward a motion to separate annexation and zoning for these two items when they come on the next agenda, whatever agenda they come on.
When they come on the next agenda, do the same thing? Or
I want to do it now.
I don't think we can do it now because it's not
Can
on
I
the
do
table.
it now,
It's not on
Madam
the
Clerk?
table now. We just tabled them.
It's here.
We just tabled them.
But I asked you this at the last meeting. I asked you at the last meeting. So it's here on this agenda that we're looking at right now, and I know we tabled it, but you got it in front of me. And so I would like to separate those on the next agenda.
Okay, when we get to the next agenda, you'll make that motion, get a second, we'll take a roll call vote, and if the majority wants to separate it, we'll separate it. If the majority chooses not to, we won't. That will be it. We'll be done by vote.
Mayor, can I say something in defense of my colleague?
Sure.
When we do the cow, you know, and I was glad when Madam Clerk told the board that I came on that, you know, the cow should be something we do and have these discussions. But I just want to be fair that if a trustee do ask for it, can we just go ahead and get it done at the cow, because she did ask for it, and can we just get it done, you know what I'm saying? So this won't happen, you know what I mean? Like, it won't be a back and forth.
Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
If I could,
Please.
Mr. Manager.
Sure.
When we do the agenda prep meeting for the next meeting, I will have in my notes, and I will bring to the attention of the mayor, the manager, and the attorney. When we do the agenda prep meeting for the next regular meeting, I will make a note and bring to the attention of the mayor, the village manager, and the attorney, Trustee Thompson's request to separate zoning and annexations, if that would work for you.
But the mayor is the only one who can say yes or no to something on the agenda. He
But-
doesn't allow trustees to place things on the agenda.
But
So
we
if you
do.
bring it forward, it's still his decision.
But we do have an agenda prep meeting that's comprised of the mayor, the village manager, the attorney, and myself. And since you made this request, that at the next regular meeting, when this is brought up for action, that they are separated, I will remind him of this, so when we're setting the next agenda, we can make sure that it's on there for the board to either.
Now, he just said we can vote, so which one will it be?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. He's saying at the
That's what I'm
next
saying.
meeting.
That's what I'm saying, for the next meeting, I will make a note that we discuss this for the agenda to separate those two, and that's the way the agenda should be reflected.
That's not what he said.
Well, that's why I'm speaking out loud.
Okay.
I will make
He
that
said
note.
that it's going to be on the next regular meeting agenda, just together, zoning and annexation, and we can vote, and I can put forward a motion, and the trustees can vote yea or nay. That's what he said. He didn't say anything about at the meeting it'll be separated or anything like that.
Okay.
I
That's
heard
what
you.
I'm saying.
I heard you.
That's the only thing I can throw in as a suggestion.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Madam Clerk. Okay. May I have a motion for items E2C and items E2D, resolution authorizing the closure of the following Midland Bank and Illinois Bank Funds bank account, resolution authorizing the opening of a bank account lockbox for the GMT program. Is there a motion? Moved by Lewis, second by Brooks. Roll call, Madam Clerk, please.
Okay.
One question.
Those are going together?
Yeah, this was the consent agenda.
I-
Yeah, this is what we all approved to move forward for the consent agenda. Yes, they go together.
You know, I have one question. I'm sorry, is she done?
Yeah, if you're asking questions about the specific item that should be removed from the consent agenda, there shouldn't be discussion on consent agenda.
Right, we agreed on that already.
So if you want to, trustee, if you want to ask questions or discuss, you should you guys should remove whatever item it is that you have a question about.
I'm sorry, but we cannot hear
Mrs.
what
Lewis,
you say.
she can't
You're
yell.
having a meeting up there by yourself. We're here.
I'm talking to the trustee. I'm talking to the trustee.
And we,
So you're asking for approval on the consent agenda as amended, is that correct?
yes.
Okay. Okay, the mayor was asking for a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended, which would include E2C and E2D.
Lewis made the motion, Brooks made the second.
I didn't hear that. The consent agenda. Trustee Lewis? Trustee Lewis? Trustee McFadden?
Votes aye.
Trustee Folger?
Votes aye.
Trustee Thompson?
Votes aye.
Trustee Williams?
Votes aye.
Trustee Brooks? Mayor Rudez?
Votes aye, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, for the record, E2C, the closure of certain bank accounts for Midland Bank and Illinois funds, that's Resolution R 2024-19. Resolution authorizing opening a bank account lockbox for the GMT program. That's Resolution R 2024-20.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. New business, the appointment of Deborah Orr and Arthur L. McFadden to the Thorn Creek Nature Preserve. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Moved by
Thompson.
Trustee Thompson, second by Trustee Lewis. Roll call, please, Madam.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
That's Thompson.
That's, Trustee Thompson made the motion, Trustee Lewis made the second, and this is for the appointment of Deborah Orr and Arthur L. McFadden III to the Thorn Creek Nature Preserve.
Is there a motion?
Yes, we'll do it again. Is there a motion? Trustee Thompson made the motion.
So moved.
Okay.
Trustee Lewis had the second. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis?
Votes aye.
Trustee McFadden?
Votes aye.
Trustee Folger?
Votes aye.
Trustee Thompson?
Votes aye.
Trustee Williams?
Votes aye.
Trustee Brooks?
Congratulations, aye.
Mayor Rudez?
Votes aye, Madam Clerk. Yeah, we'd like to ask Ms. Orr to stand to be recognized, and I'll give her the opportunity to say something if she would like to. And if there's a representative from Arthur McFadden III, I'll give them that same opportunity as well. So please, someone from Mrs. Orr or Ms. Orr, stand up, because everybody does not know you. For our TV viewing audience of over 1 million viewers. Anything you want to say, Ms. Orr? Or anybody? Okay, please come to the microphone.
Good evening. I'm Judy Mendelson, and I'm the chairperson of the Thorn Creek Management Commission. The commission is the duly authorized intergovernmental agreement that deals with everything regarding the 1,000-acre preserve known as Thorn Creek Nature Preserve, which is about a couple hundred feet north of this building. It includes 1,000 acres, 3.5 miles of trail, the Thorn Creek Nature Center on Money Road, parking, programs that are run by our naturalists for adults, children, school kids, seniors, and the like. The commission, which you, the Village of University Park, have been part of since 1980, is the commission that oversees everything about the preserve. University Park owns land in the preserve, as does Park Forest Village and the Forest Preserve District of Will County. But they have banded together in 1980 to oversee everything about the preserve. So we're absolutely thrilled to have appointments, because each of the agencies, as part of the commission, are allowed 2 representatives to be appointed to represent your interests on the commission at our monthly meetings. And the monthly meetings are open to the public. And of course, we would love to see any of you. And a little side thing here, we have the Friends of Thorn Creek Woods, which is part of this commission also, is celebrating 55 years of efforts to preserve this land. And we're having a meeting, an annual meeting on October 5th, where there'll be a presentation about the history of the preservation of the preserve. It's like going back in the time machine to the 1960s and 70s on how the preserve started. So we are very thankful for your continued participation in the commission. Thank you.
We have one question. We have one question from.
Two.
She has
Could you?
2 questions.
Would you repeat your name, please?
I'm Judy Mendelson.
The other one is there a term limit for these appointments that are made?
Each agency, each member of the commission appoints their representatives in whatever way is how you want to appoint them. Each agency does it different. Some do it for one-year appointments, some do it perpetual. It's solely up to your own rules and regulations how you want to do it.
Okay.
I have one question. Where's the location of your meetings?
What?
Your meeting location?
It's at the Thorn Creek Nature Center, which is 247 Money Road. It's the large white Civil War era building on Money Road just north of Stunkel. That's the Nature Center. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. So I just want to mention something real briefly about how this appointment occurred. We might have been delayed a little bit, but not denied. Mr. King approached me and told me about the Thorn Creek Preserve, but as a seasoned trustee, had it been here for 12 years previously, I wasn't unaware of the appointment. I didn't know what the exact relationship was between the village and the Forest Preserve. So after I sat down, the manager and I went down and met with the representatives from the Forest Preserve. She told me about all the exemplary work Ms. Orr does as a volunteer and how she had been consistent and is very knowledgeable. I said, well, I have no problem whatsoever appointing her. And the second thing, I appointed the young man, Arthur McFadden. I'm sure that their parents may say something on his behalf. He's a young man, a college student at the U of I. He speaks multiple languages, and I see that as a great addition to the future of the Thorn Creek Preserve, so we can take care of what we have now, and with Mrs. Orr's experience and veteran stuff, then she can also help the young Arthur McFadden grow, and we can continue to keep this legacy alive. So thank you so much for everybody that participated. Mr. McFadden or Ms. McFadden, would you like to say something on behalf of Arthur, please? Arthur Jr. You got a mic right there. Yeah, you got a mic right there, trustee. With your Mary Kay on.
Okay. All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of my son, Arthur Levi McFadden III, he asked me to read this statement and to accept the appointment for him tonight. Good evening, everyone. I am Arthur Levi McFadden III, and I am a second-year college student at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign, majoring in Japanese. Unfortunately, I am unable to attend this meeting tonight for this appointment. I am honored to step in and receive this appointment as I project the future and do my very best to be a good representation of not just for my family, but for the village of University Park and the Thorn Creek Nature Preserve. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let's give them all a round of applause. Okay, now we're getting to one of the most exciting parts of these meetings. It's the bills payable. See if I can find it right quick. All right. Attached for your approval is a listing of general operating expenses for the Village of University Park that occurred on the 12th of September 2024 through September 24th, 2024. General Fund, $223,014.07. Road and Bridge, $1,013.43. Town Center Fund, $2,409. Capital Project Fund, $14,135.93. Our Motor Fuel Tax Fund, $16,979.63. TIF 5 Fund, $3,295.00. And the Payroll Fund, $1,122, with a grand total of $261,960.15. May I have a motion to pay the bills, please? Moved by Trustee Lewis.
Second motion.
Second by Trustee McFadden. Questions?
me find the check number here. I had it written down. It was for a movie for $4,000.
What page, sir?
Well, here we go. It's broken in two parts, but on the invoice, I seen it as one. So I was a little confused on it. But that would be page 2, Madam Clerk, on the check registry report. Check number 112492, and then check 112493. And it was to Party People Entertainment, outdoor movies. But on the invoice, I seen one, unless I'm just mistaken how I read it when I tapped it on the Dropbox. But I guess the question I have is that the common price for movies, and are we doing 2 movies?
So it's for the Jumbotron for the Halloween, and that's the same company that you guys have used even prior to me getting here, and I believe it's always been the same amount. And it's the same jumbo, it's the big, huge screen that, that you guys get.
Okay. Okay. All right, I yield my time.
Okay.
Do you want to pull that?
Huh?
Would you like to pull that one?
No.
No, okay.
I have a
Okay.
question.
Question, Trustee Thompson?
Are these bills already paid? Because they all have the same,
No, there's only some bills, and it's like the utilities, I believe it was Aqua, Nicor, any contractual, but other than that, no.
because all the check dates, most of the check dates are for September 20th, with just, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 7 for September 17th.
Some of them, you know, we prepare in advance, and we hold them, and we don't release them until the board approves them, other than like Aqua, Nicor, anything contractual like PTL, I think Orkin, just those kind of services so that they'll continue.
Is she done? Okay. I had a question for the Funky Ride, check number 112495. This invoice is stated for October. Why? We're done with the car shows.
So I believe that we were talking about doing another car show in October, and so that's for October.
Are we doing another one?
There's a good chance if there's some sponsorship, if not, we'll move forward with it.
So when will you all know this information? Because October is...
I would say
this
probably
week,
Thursday
next week.
morning, because it wouldn't be on a Sunday, it would be on a Saturday, because everybody's asking for an October encore. And, you know, we don't want to conflict with the Bears, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that was the request from the crowd. There was so many people blowing for it. No, because that's why Saturday instead of Sunday, that way it won't conflict. And it's getting dark early, so it will be the last,
So you'll let us know, you'll let me know ahead of time, so I would like for it to be pulled until we know for sure.
Okay, we'll do. Just that check, Funky
I
Rides?
mean, I don't have to speak, I'm just saying, basically, if it's going on, it's going on, but if it's not, it shouldn't be paid. So I just wanna
Okay,
make
will
sure
do.
that it's not. Also, for check numbers for Intero Group, 112443, 112444. I asked at the last board meeting, because I seen that there's new fee rates. And again, those new fee rates are there. The board has not approved or seen any new contract from Intero Group with all of these new price increases. So I don't approve any new increases to Intero based off of their price. Isn't their contract over with, or is their contract over? But any type of price increases, we should be getting that information, correct, to approve it.
What's that check number, Trustee Paul?
Check number 112443, check number 112444. And both of them is for Intero Group.
Right, I got that.
And they're based off of a new price schedule that the board did not approve. And it has not been presented to us. So I only approved the price that it used to be. So I believe either we need to pull those and make those adjustments until the village manager presents it to us and we get the contract and it gets approved by the board, if this is what we agreed to. Thank you.
With those two exceptions being pulled,
Right. Yep.
all right. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Both sides. Trustee McFadden. Both sides. Trustee Falter.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Votes no.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks. Trustee Brooks.
There you go.
I think you look over there.
Trustee Brooks. Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye to pay the bills.
As amended.
All right, as amended. All right. All right. General public comments, Mr. Officer Pierman, please. All righty, let's start off. So Judy Mitchelson, you just signed in as signed in, you don't want to say anything, I assume, right? All right. Miss Millie does, Miss Millie.
Hello, everybody. I have a few questions.
Hello.
I'd like to know more how our law firm function. I'd like to know who gives the law firm different cases for the village of University Park. I also want to know, are the different things that's given to the law firm, is it discussed with the entire board? Because there's things that keep repeatedly coming up. And it seems like nobody knows, it was never discussed with anybody except for with the mayor. This last incident, and we're talking about with the referendum, Mr. Mayor, you have no right. You have no right. You are a part-time, temporary mayor. You have no right to disregard the residents and some of the trustees in how this village is ran. You have no right to do that. I'm sick and tired. The residents are sick and tired of the manner in what how you run this village. You say we have, well, we're supposed to have a village manager here. That's not true. As I asked you once before, can you please give her permission to do her job instead of you taking it up on your own? The referendum, I just wonder, what part of no don't you understand, the N or the O? The board, the residents here don't want the park district. We want park and recreation. But you went behind our backs and you took and had our our lawyers. You used our money, our tax dollars, not unless you got thousands of dollars to pay them. Sure do. But you took and paid our tax dollars to have the lawyers to do a referendum to go on the ballot. No, and that was done back in August. Nobody knew about it. Nobody. You have no right to do that. You need to stop going behind our backs and the board's back.
Thank you so much for your comments. I took heed to your information. Anytime you want to sit down and talk, I'm willing to. Absolutely. Thank you for your comments.
I'm interested in talking with you in public.
The next
And
person
I
is
never
Mrs. Morgan.
I never got any answers from the lawyer. want to know, how do you all function?
Mrs. Morgan, your 3 minutes has been exhausted. Please,
I
let's
asked
not
a
continue.
question.
It's the opportunity of anybody on this board that sits here either
I
to
gotta
answer
listen to what he's saying
today
right now.
or at another time. Right now, you have exhausted your 3 minutes. We would like to conduct this as a business meeting reflecting professionalism for the people looking at our community. So thank you so much. Bobby Greer is the next
I'd like
person.
for the mayor, for the lawyer to take 3 minutes and just answer.
She'll
How
respond
does she
to you
function?
at a later date. Mrs. Bobby Greer? I didn't do no different than the library did.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's the election time, our national election for, most importantly, the President of this United States. I would like to take this opportunity to remind people not to sit this election out for President. Every vote counts. We are at a critical time, and also I would like to remind people that if you have not heard, have not looked into Project 2025, please Google it. Also, I understand that on our ballot, there will be a referendum for a park district. I am advising people to vote no. Also, if you don't vote no, your taxes, our property taxes are going to go up. And for homeowners, if you are a renter, you will not be exempt, because whomever the homeowner is, I'm sure they're going to, you'll be the ones that will be paying a portion, if not all of that. Secondly, there will be something on the, another referendum on there, I understand, that talks about property tax refund. Please vote yes for that. No for the park. Anybody, everybody, the sound of my voice, vote no. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sonia Jenkins-Bell.
Good evening, Board, Mayor.
Good evening.
I wanted to really thank the Board, and particularly Ms. Trustee Fulcher and Trustee Jewell, for making us aware of what was going on with this Park District referendum. We fought it 2.5 years ago, and we need to fight it again. I thank the Board for pulling the check, for not wanting to pay for it. I thank each and every last one of you guys, because we need to know as taxpayers who has our back. We are aging out. We have seniors in our community that can't afford an increase. Inflation is everywhere. They're having people standing in these food lines to even supplement their food. But we want to do this to our community. Now, I'm going to say in Cook County, they had a resource fair last week. It was over 1,000 people in the Southland, Cook County side of the south suburbs. And it was a phenomenal turnout, but they also had a petition to take to the state to keep their taxes from being increased. And we're passing a petition to increase ours. Crete is building a rec center. Who is going to support ours? How many people are out here? We have to take into consideration all of these things that are going on and stop thinking of ourselves and what we want. We want to bring 5 new salaries in. They can levy the taxes whenever they get ready. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We need to do the demographics on what the age groups are in our community. That's going to tell us a lot. Where the parents are, can they work, can they afford this? We trust this board to have our backs. We trust the people that are going to run for office to get reelected on their seats to have our backs. So we're asking and we're pleading with the residents to be your neighbor's keeper, have their backs, and say no to this referendum to increase our taxes. Because we don't want everybody losing their homes. It's not an option. We have a safe community, our police are good, everything's going according to plan. $765,000 needs to be put back into park and recreation. Why do we have to create a park district? Are you kidding me? Refund it. Some of these jobs have not been filled. The money that you're not paying for the jobs that are vacant now, put it into a park and recreation program. Think outside the box instead of standing on the doggone taxpayers' necks and backs. So would you please take that into consideration? And Mayor, whoever put that referendum behind this board's back, they need their tail whooped. It makes no sense that you are disrespecting people that we put on these seats.
Your time has exhausted, Ms.
Thank
Jenkins-Bell.
you, and you have a wonderful evening.
So, next person will be Barbara Patrick. You're after Ms. Stroud. I see down there, Mr. King. Lord have mercy. Oh, you just watch me go. I can't wait.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Mrs. Patrick.
Okay, I hate to be up here to basically explain something that was stated at the last board meeting about our family. It was from the Hunt family that made the comment. I'm going to explain to you the incident that actually happened that day. Me and my husband both, due to little health issues, we were just going for a walk. As we were going westbound on Clover Lane, Jerry Hunt, the son, was standing by his blue truck with a punch on, some type of little cape, it was wool, standing by his truck. As we approached him, he started walking towards us. He said to us, "I've been waiting to confront you about a light-skinned lady at your house that threatened to shoot and kill my dog." I told him I'm the only female at that house. He continued to follow us. My husband kept brushing him off like, "Man, just gone." He continued to keep approaching us. He started threatening us by saying that he was going to set our house on fire and shoot us as we're coming out the door. Then began to reach under that poncho that he had, and that's when we feared for our life. And at that point, my husband had to respond. But this is not only the only incident on this block. Down 2 weeks later, another family on the same side, he was approached and he stated to them, "I got into it with the wrong person. It was your wife that threatened to kill my dog." This young man does not have respect for even the police, because as the reporting officer was taking their report, he pulled down in front of their house and was taking pictures. So I'm not for sure the purpose of when they came and made that announcement, but it really bothered us because it was a comment from the reporting officer that Jerry Hunt, the father, apologized for his son approaching my husband. With all this being said, this was 3 months ago. It should not have reoccurred again or rekindled this whole situation, because now our safety is at jeopardy. due to this situation. So what is it, I know that I'm praying to God that this is not some type of little political stunt that someone's playing. And if it is, do you think it's a good idea to play with people's safety and their life and their reputation? We've been out here for 31 years.
Ms. Patrick, I gotta be fair. The 3 minutes have been exhausted. I gotta
Okay,
be
no
fair
problem.
with everybody that's here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm very concerned about your comments. Now, we have Donald Patrick, Deborah J. Stroud, and Art King, the next 3 people speaking. Donald Patrick.
Hello, everyone. I'm the husband of Barbara Patrick, and she just got through from telling you guys a lot of what happened. I've been a resident of University Park for over 30 years. I know some of the people out here personally. I've tried to help in all ways that I could, as far as with the community, my neighbors, and everything else when it come down to helping out with the community. I've volunteered my time for football teams. I've volunteered my time for just trying to help my neighbors whenever they need something. And right now, I'm on the Police and Fire Commission, and I'm trying to look out for everyone as far as the type of officers that we have out here, the type of firemen that we have out here, and everything else. And it just hurts me deeply for someone to sit up and think that me just having triple bypass surgery last year and trying to get myself back together health-wise, it hurts me for someone to think that I would just all of a sudden out the blue try to do some harmful things to some of my neighbors. That's not me. And if anyone talks to any of my neighbors about me, they're going to tell you different. They're going to tell you that, hey, this guy, he has helped my daughters with their cars. He's helped in every kind of way. I've knocked on folks' doors. I've called the police department where my neighbors left their garage door open and say, hey, man, listen, I'm going to go on the inside and touch their garage door. Right then, call a neighbor and let them know what I did. So that it just hurts me for someone to think that I'm on something like that. And my neighbors, they don't want to take responsibility for their child, for their kid. He's an adult, so they don't want to take responsibility for him. But I refuse to let anyone hurt and harm anybody in my family. That's not what men do. So if I offended anyone by my actions or whatever, I'm sorry, but my family comes first.
Understood, Mr.
And that's all I got to say.
Thank you so much for your comments, sir.
Thank you.
Deborah J. Stroud.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, those present, those viewing. First off, I'd like to give congratulations to the appointees of tonight. I know both of them well. To see someone who has grown up from this community, a youth, a young adult, to be appointed, that's a blessing. Secondly, does everybody know about Big Willie's serving soul food? For those that don't, please patronize. Please, please, please patronize. They serve some real good food. They're open if the board meeting closes early. They're open tonight too. Just a little PSA for them. I have patronized. If you see the extra 5 pounds, it was Big Willie's fault. Okay? But may I ask, what is the status of the Highland Avenue sign? Because, again, my focus is on early voting at the library. And any assistance that can be given from residents coming from Monique would be helpful. Is there a status of any contact to any department?
So I looked into that for you. I tried looking in my inventory, seeing if I had that sign in stock. I did not. What I plan on doing is ordering that sign. Instead of just ordering one sign, I was planning on ordering a multiple, not of just that sign, but of all the other signs that are missing in town. I already started a list on that, so that way we can get that ordered and that up as soon as possible. I can keep you posted and updated on that. I had no luck reaching out as far as the county or anybody regarding that. So that's why I'm taking it upon myself just to order that and get that going for you.
Thank you so much for that forward movement. See, I knew when I asked if something could be done, something's being done. Thank you so much. And last but not least, August 31st of this year, I made 51 years residency out here. I will continue to... Thank you.
I didn't think you were that old.
Pardon?
I didn't think you were 51 years old.
No, I said residency. I didn't say about age. But anyway, I say that to say, especially for those viewing, get involved in your community. There have been so many different levels administrations that have had to put up with me. And I'm not going to go away that easy. As long as God is willing, so am I. But, oh, wow, I finally made 3 minutes. Everyone have a good evening. Deuces.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
before she takes her seat, before Ms. Stroud takes her seat, I would like that we applaud her. She is the #1 voter registrar in our entire community.
26 years. And I'm back at Crete-Monique High School, too. 12 years.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Everyone have a good evening. Be safe.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Our last person is our king.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
As the mayor said, my name is Arthur King. I'm here to represent my wife, Marva King, and also myself. She was on the Thorn Creek Nature Center board for, what? Over 17 years. And it was a very enjoyable experience. But what I want to do on behalf of my wife and myself to thank the board, mayor, village manager for getting it done. It's been a long, slow grind, and you had promised that it would be done, and you've done that. I also want to promote our use of the Thorn Creek Nature Center. It's part of our backyard. That's our front yard, so to speak. There's educational program. Our kids need to go there. We as adults need to go there. And unless we do it as adults, chances are the children aren't going to do it. But we've got to get them out of the house. The other thing I would like to say is that I'm hoping that now that we have 2 members, and I think this is a great that we now have a young person that's also going to be on the board. I think that's going to go well. And those are my comments and not those of the board itself. But I think that's good news. And I also would like to see that the board and the village find a way to help promote what the programs are there and what's available. For example, we have our newsletter. There has to be a way that we can get some information. Yes, and on a regular basis. There's also the newsletter that gets distributed on a regular basis that's in the Village Hall. So, but getting it into the newsletter means that it's going to get read, okay, more so than just putting a brochure out. But again, thank you and for all you've done, and I look forward to watching what happens. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. King. Thank you so much. Okay. Here we are. Reports of Deputy Chief. Anything?
Yep. Just real quick. So the fire department's been out and about in the community the past couple weeks. We participated in the back-to-school parade. We also participated in the Wellness Day Will County held here at 90 Town Center. We did blood pressure checks. My guys have been participating in the past 4 days or 2 days for some helicopter training with UCAN. So we're preparing for incidents going forward. But we're more excited about October is Fire Prevention Month coming up. We're scheduling all our school visits, so you'll see all of our firemen in our schools. We do something like a little presentation. We pass out some informational stuff. The biggest thing that's coming in for the children for Fire Prevention Month is a coloring contest where all the schools participate. The coloring contest is done. The winners get a ride to school in the morning on a fire truck. So the kids really, that's a big thing for us. You'll see in the newsletter, the fire department has posted some of the activities and stuff that we participated in. And then we're starting to plan for the trunk or treat coming up on the 26th. So we're looking to have a good showing on that. You'll also see some of my guys out for MDA for Fill the Boot. So at intersections throughout the community, they'll be out soliciting for MDA. Please support them. And the last thing is our new candidate is doing terrific. He's super excited. He's actually worked some overtime already, and he's really, really happy. So, yeah, yes. And that's about it. Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question with Chief.
Yes.
For the coloring with the schools, I know you do that every year. Is it possible to utilize the other fire department? Because I know we utilize the one here, but the second location, is it big enough to use the second location so the residents and the kids to know that there's a second fire station here in University Park?
You know, that would be a great idea. We're actually working right now on the design that we're going to be presenting to the kids to color. So maybe it would be nice to put both fire stations or something to that to tie it in. So this way they can understand that there's two. You know,
Right,
you just don't get to see them all the time. Yeah.
Right, because I've gone with my kids a couple times because they did the coloring thing. So they only know about Fire Station
the big
1.
one? Yeah.
But I think we should promote Fire Station 2 as well.
Awesome. That sounds like a great idea.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Village Board, and citizens. Glad to be here. I'm glad you're all out here. Just got a couple of things. The University Park Police Department was glad to participate in the village's back-to-school parade and festival, and that led us into liaising with the school districts for their state-mandated emergency action plans, where we went and witnessed those things and signed off on them per state mandate. We continue to liaise with various businesses and entities within the village to help them cut down on instances of shrinkage and law breaking. We continue to integrate new technologies into the police department. Technology, as you know, is a force multiplier. It allows us to be in more than one place at one time and do more than one thing at one time. The police department was happy. Since our last meeting, we conducted a national night out, went well. Another thing, and I'd like to also thank Mr. Tim Robinson. The police department escorted the Vietnam Memorial Moving Wall to Monee. We escorted it from Tinley Park to Monee. For those that don't know, the Vietnam Memorial Moving Wall is a scaled replica of the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. And it has all the names of the honored dead that are on the memorial in Washington, D.C. It has it on that one. And so it's a sight to see. We were very honored to be asked to help escort it. They reached out to us, and they thought enough of the Village of University Park to ask us. And we have, and you know, with all our veterans we have in town. And so it was a very moving experience. And I'm very proud, that our police department was part of that. For the month of July, we had 757 calls for service. For the month of August, we had 754. We're continuing to integrate the new squad cars into our fleet and swapping out the old squad cars and turning them over to Enterprise. And we also facilitated training for the 2024 National Training Conference for the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. The police department will be involved with the trunk or treat coming up on Halloween. And we're also planning next month to support the efforts. October, as you know, is Breast Cancer Awareness. And the police department will be wearing our commemorative pink patches to commemorate breast cancer awareness. Please see your doctors. Don't wait till it's too late. It's something that can extend your life and also think of your family. And last, I'd like to remind everybody, lock your doors on your homes and your cars. Do not leave valuables in sight. And the police department still has a quantity of wheel locks for Hyundais and Kias. Free of charge, come to the police department, we'll give you a wheel lock to put over your wheel, over your steering wheel. That ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much, Chief. Madam Clerk, you had something?
Yes, if I may.
You know, you got a whole lot going on tonight, don't you?
Brief. Okay. I have had people to ask me, and believe it or not, election 2025 is coming up and will be held on April 1st, 2025. So just, yeah. But just wanted to share with the public, I will not be giving out petition packets, but I am providing to you, which I have for the last few years, where you can contact to get all of the information that you will need, and that's the State Board of Elections, which is www.elections.il.gov, and Will County Clerk's Office, which is www.elections@willcountyillinois.com, or you can call them at their phone numbers. Just so that you are aware, nominating petitions can be circulated beginning, it's already started, August 24th, 2024. Yeah, you
Okay.
can start circulating your petitions now. I did have.
Madam Clerk, you know you jumped the line.
Oh, you.
It was going to be on Chris. I thought you had something to say, but go ahead, finish. I'm going to be courteous to my elders. Go right ahead.
I'm through.
You through?
And I'll get you after the meeting.
Catch me if you can. Chris, go right ahead.
Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to inform you quickly. I know everyone's pretty tired, so I'll try to be as fast as I can. Please bear with me. Starting off, Public Works has installed a total of 3 light poles at the following locations: intersection of Blackhawk and Amherst, intersection of Sandra and Pin Oak, and intersection of Monterey and Hickok. Public Works also assisted Mead Electric with installation of a separate light pole located at 413 Doral Terrace. We are diligently working on installing the remaining poles in a timely manner. We have also repaired multiple streetlights at the following locations: 455 Pebble Beach, 701 Spring Court, Kedzie South, Hickok and Burnham, and the Tot Lot and Fairway Estates. I have met with Van Mack Electric regarding the turnover of the traffic signal at the intersection of West Stager Road and Illinois 50, making it the first preemptive lighting fixture in University Park, thanks to our village manager. I have been in communication with Solitude Lake Management regarding our fountain on Western Avenue, ensuring all proper repairs and upgrades on the fountain are taking place and guaranteed proper operation. Public Works has begun trimming the overgrown brush from the walking path on University Parkway. We also tackled a portion of the walking path located on Thorwood Housing. Public Works has targeted all tile lots and continued to spray and treat for weeds. We also tackled the upkeep around the police and fire station, as well as sprayed and treated for weeds. I have talked with Wisconsin Lighting Lab regarding ordering the proper streetlight poles for installation across from Metra. I have ordered the snow salt for the winter season, and it was already delivered on September 6th. Public Works continues to hot patch and cold patch as we started to focus on heavier traffic areas like the completion of University Parkway and Pine Woods. And finally, Public Works is beginning to prepare for the winter season. Thank you all, and you guys enjoy your evening.
Hey,
Hey, Chris.
can I get, you're gonna,
Come on, Madam Clerk. Listen, one thing, and I really don't just give accolades on people doing their job, but I must say that light on Monterey and Hickok has been out for a mighty, mighty long time, and we see the effects of what new lighting does for a community. I really appreciate that, and I think our residents around town will look forward to doing that stuff. So I just want to give their proper credits when they're due, and just think about the whole town lit up with LED lights. That's very important to me. So thank you so much. Continue the good work, young man.
Chris, oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you know, take one to know one. Go.
Thank you for installing the light in our complex at Monterey Village 3, which the resident Cynthia and Stacy, their car was stolen and the light was out. And thanks for bringing that light to bring the area is well lit up now, so we can see better over there, and our cameras can catch, people. Thank you.
All right.
I want to add to that. So, Monterey Court and Hickok, my motion light don't even need to come on no more. That light it's nice.
But you know what? That's why stability in communities is very important. We continue this positive progress, the whole town will be lit up and we'll be winning, winning, winning together. All right. Mr. Ellis, you have anything? Manager Scott. No, go, Manager Scott. We go ahead. Manager Scott, great report, great report. And I know you cut it short. I know you did. We're going to go with Trustee Fulcher.
Good evening, board and residents. I just wanted to briefly talk a little bit about the Park District that was mentioned at the last board meeting. For those that are aware, I just wanted to read what the referendum states that's going to be on the ballot for November the 5th. So it says, the proposition to establish the University Park District, should the University Park District be formed and have an aggregate extension under the property tax extension limitation law not to exceed $800,000 for the levy year 2024. So this is what's on the ballot. As how you're supposed to vote, I know I do not want a new taxing district, especially based off of how our taxes are as of right now. I will hope that I know myself and my family never received any information about anything about a park district. And that's part of when you establish a park district, it should be a committee set up to go over all the different things that comes up with forming a park district. That committee is supposed to put together literature and then also reach out to the residents and to have a meeting, a workshop to say, is this something that you want before a petition is even filed? I know that's something that did not happen because I never received anything, and nor did a lot of other residents. With this referendum, the $800,000 levy will consist of where it would be, it's not 5 at the moment, that it would be where that $800,000 will be used to establish 7 members of a board, which would be selected by the mayor, which is the president. So the mayor will select the 7 people, and the board will vote whether or not we want those people to come in. Once they're brought in, that $800,000, part of that will be used for that board to have their first meeting and establish their salary, because they're going to have a salary. They get to determine what salary they want. Also, that would include having to pay for their pension, health care, and everything else that occurs. That's what the original $800,000, majority of it would be establishing. There is no facility here in University Park. As of right now, there's no physical location. So that's just for tax year, levy year 2024. Who knows what would be asked for levy year 2025? So that's just to establish it, which is basically to establish the board. That's the way I see it as. And for them to establish their salary and what their pension amount, to pay for their pension, health care, and everything else, because they would be paid board members, which would be 7 members. Residents, you all should be aware of this information before you all go out there and vote. This would mean there will be another taxing district which will increase your taxes. Along with, we are already about to have an increase in the tax rate because of the closing of TIF 5. Yes, it would be slight, but it will be an increase. So you will see, which I know the village manager and the board, we already talked about last board meeting, that we're going to put together literature in regards to how that is going to be a tax rate increase. So that tax rate will be there. Will it be a big amount? No, but that plus a park district, that's something that we do not want. I do not want it. I want a Parks and Recs department, which I've been talking about since last year, and that money should be established inside the budget where we are supporting the children, the youth, the seniors, the adults, everything, where there's programs available through the funds that we already have here in University Park. That would be the end of my comments. Thank you.
Oh, points well taken. Thank you so much, Trustee Fulcher.
You're welcome.
Trustee Lewis.
I want to say, attending the conference, I went to the ethics class, and the class was called Can They Do That? And I was sitting next to the trustees, and we all were very intrigued about the learning that we got out of the class. And we both went up to speak about certain things that happened. You know, is it ethical? Can they do this and that? The conference was great.
All right, thank you. Trustee Brooks.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight I have 5 points. One, I would like to congratulate Arthur McFadden and Deborah Orr on their appointments. Both people are definitely an asset to the community. Arthur, I'm very proud of him because the little conversations I have with Arthur, I'm going to tell you, do not be surprised if you don't see that young man in Springfield one day. He is a very intelligent young man, and Deborah definitely has always been a pillar to our community, so thank you, Deborah. The next one is that doing since the back to school, a couple things I've done. One is that I did take a trip up to the golf course. I wanted to see how the free golfing was going. I was up there one Saturday about 4:33, had a conversation with a couple golfers. I wanted to do the comparison between Deer Creek and University Park. The gentleman that I spoke with, he was from Chicago, and his partner was from Markham. They came out as a team. And one thing he said is that they took University Park out the rotation because we were closed so long. If you're a golfer, we always, stop at different courses. That's just something that they're due. Another is, in which I hope this free golf does get around because we were, at 4:33, everyone was pretty much leaving our golf course, but Deer Creek was still going. So I hope the word continues to pass around as I met those two gentlemen from Markham and Chicago, Karen and myself. Another thing, I want numbers to be put on people's mind. I hear people mentioning the Park District referendum. Well, let me say this. In 2017, when I came to this board, your budget, operation expenses, was about $9 million, but your income was 7.5. I want you to remember, for 2 years, maybe up to 3, we were borrowing $1.5 million. Let me also say that during this little period of time, and I'm telling you once again, this village was taking money out of the TIF, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I'm telling you, not just an FBI agent, I'm telling you, authorities have told me to my face, you are not supposed to touch that money, especially not what we were doing. But I made it my business, and we heard Ms. Scott as she presented the budget with John Kasperi. Our income is going to be $14 million. Listen to me, $14 million. So that means that in 2017, one reason why we could not afford a park and rec, and we had to close it down. And note, when we closed it down, the animals were sick. And we were paying $1,000 to a company way out in Beecher just to take care of our animals. This board didn't do it. I didn't do it. When it happened, it didn't start under me. But what I'm saying is that now we're making $14 million. We don't need another taxing body. What we do, the same way other things were tried to be done, the same way there was a movement to try to repeal something we did in 2018 with the fire chief's position. Park and Rec is still on the books. All you have to do is repeal what we did, because what we did was trying to shut down and save you as much money. It's the same way you do in your own home. You cut back. If you can't afford it, you cut back. We couldn't afford a Park and Rec. Park and Rec at one point, before I even got in, spent $1 million. $1 million. But it was budgeted for $750,000. So I'm putting these numbers out here because it's not going to be the last I heard of it because we already spoke. I don't care what anybody say. The village should be able to sustain a park and rec at this point. You have it on the books. All we have to do, the same way you were down there trying to do with the fire chief position, put park and rec back on the books. It can be done next meeting. Ms. Scott, by the direction of the board, hire a director over park and rec, and we be back in business. That's what I got to say. For the few conversations I've had, and I promised residents on this, break-ins of these vehicles, especially over, I want to get the street right, is Burnside. They were very upset. She live on Morningside? Okay, I'll say Morningside. Or it might have been another one too. But they were very upset. Only thing I can say at this point is that once again, when I was commissioner of the Police and Fire Commission, we sat up here, we sworn in 7 people. Commissioners do not control how many a village manager directs them to hire. The village manager calls the chair, which would have been me back then. We hired, I believe, 4 officers, and then there was 3 part-timers that were picked up by the police chief. The next thing you know, we had all this mass police layoff, and we are yet to recover. Residents are upset. I'm just saying it now. Residents are upset. The only thing that I can say is that I was going to acknowledge today that the residents listening want the police chief to know whatever we need to do, and I've been there. I worked Harvey when it was great under a white mayor, and I worked Harvey under the black mayor. Sometimes the manpower will go up and down. I worked on the Country Club Hills when the manpower was big and the manpower was little. But one thing I'm going to tell you them 2 towns do, them officers kept moving. We got to keep that deterrence. Chief, you and I work the same band. You know at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock in the morning, Country Club Hills is out there writing them 2 to 6 in the morning tickets. We had a routine. I think we got to go back to old school methods because residents are upset. And I'm going to tell you, as long as I've been dealing with the police and fire, actually even with the police, since on the Police and Fire Commission, I'm going to tell you, them guys, a lot of them guys, we're all about the same age. And it's time for them to retire. And they don't have that energy working 16 hours a day. And I understand staffing is short, but we got to come up with something different. Because I'm not going to push on them no more than I would push on me. But something has to be done because the residents are angry about these break-ins of these vehicles. The response time, I'm going to say again, next to me I called an auto theft in progress, 10 minutes for response time. 10 minutes. If this was 1989, the response time would have been 3 or less. The last I want to say is that I know the Patricks and both of them are commissioners based upon the committees they serve on. Last meeting, I heard from the Hunts. And to my understanding, I guess the statement was made that no police action was taken or police or follow-up was poor. I just want to say, number one, I know the Hunts and I know the Patricks. I coached their son. They're both good parents. I don't know what's going on Clover Lane, but this is what I am going to say. The mayor does have a point about when it comes to appearance. We don't want it to make it look like a block is feuding. Police chief, I'm going to say it again. If we can get to it, solve that issue so that we don't have this, because not too many complaints like that come up to the podium. But the reason why I don't like it is because the last time I was out speaking to residents, and that was no more than a week or 2 ago, people are unhappy when it comes to police service and crime. And with that, I know we can do better. And I yield my time until we see each other again.
Thank you so much, Trustee. Trustee Gina?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, I did attend the Transit Authority meeting. We did continue to talk about Metro. Metro needs more than just a facelift. Our station is deplorable. We need to get that straight. And what I like is the group that we're talking with, they're looking at focus groups who can bring awareness, who can vote on whether we want shops, stores, houses around that area where the Manilow people are more or less, I guess, giving or dedicating to us. So those were really interesting meetings, and I hope to attend more of them. Aside from that, I went to the resource center here where we had the fresh produce. We had a lot of wellness programs, a lot of programs to help our youth, and it was awesome. And of course, Blue Cross Blue Shield was there, and I always look forward to them coming out. I too attended the Illinois Municipality Convention. It was very interesting. This has been going on since 1913. Their objective is to educate, to advocate, and to empower neighborhoods, communities, villages, cities. The classes are awesome. There's so much to learn. And we went to a gathering where the mayors, Calvin Jordan, Monica Gordon was there, and all of the mayors got up and they each gave their input on what's happening in their communities. And it's really interesting to hear what's going on in other communities. You kind of bounce back and forth ideas, what we learned there, how we can change things. One of their focuses, you can do more with less. They're learning how to do these things, how to get grants, how to make things happen in the community. And I too would like to see a community center, because I was very upset. I stood at that podium almost every meeting for about at least 8 years complaining about Parks and Recs. Because every time I signed my children or my grandchild up for something, it would get canceled. There was never enough participants. But yet we kept them instead of the police officers. And there's people in this room that supported that idea, that thought it was better to bring the director from Parks and Works over and let the cops go. What sense did that make? But yet everybody's up in arms. So yes, we do need something for the youth, something for the seniors. And I also want to say, today, for example, I get calls now from the Village Hall. Marva calls me, Neva calls me. Anybody with a problem regarding their water, I'm usually that person. I'm getting that call. Today, no kidding, 4 to 6 hours. But thanks be to God who gave us the victory. Even though they cut the woman's water off, they're going to be at her house tomorrow morning. Because I called Cubs, I called ICC, I stayed on the phone with Aqua, I got to upper management. I didn't let go, I won't let go. I will continue to fight for that. So when you have a problem of that nature, it's okay. And then I want to mention, I worked on the TAP program, the advertisement program that I came up with for an ad campaign out here to make awareness, to make people know, hey, you don't have to keep that bad pipe. You can get rid of that bad pipe. You can get your water tested. And guess what? If it turns out the test is bad, they're going to continue to give you water until they get the issue resolved. So pay attention. Postcards went out for TAP. And if you didn't get it, we have applications over there, and we have them also at the Village Hall. Myself and Karen, Trustee Lewis, we signed up people at the Back to School Fest, and we'll continue to make awareness. I post about it all the time. And one more thing, I want to put a fire out. I heard the other day somebody was saying only 3 trustees are working. I beg to differ. We are all working, and I know I work my butt off for this community. Always have and always will. Way before I ever got a check, I was standing there. I was fighting the good fight of faith. I was lifting my voice. I was raising my voice for this community, and I haven't stopped, and I won't stop. So thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
All right, right on, right on. Fight the good fight. Thank you. Trustee Thompson.
Good evening, everybody, residents. You know I always write my comments because I don't want to leave anything out. So I have mentioned in previous comments that there were invoices to pay the village attorneys to do research about a park district that the board never discussed. It was never brought before the board. In the paperwork that I saw that was presented to the court, in order to get the referendum on the ballot, the mayor's name was not on it. But that doesn't mean he didn't have a hand in it. We don't know who the invisible hands are, allegedly. I was shocked and not shocked that it was already, it's already on the ballot. So as I have previously stated, we have so many other things that we need to do besides create another burden, a tax burden for the residents and for me. We can hire some more police maybe, starter parks and recs. We need some more firemen, some more public works people, and we need to take care of the first things first. And it sounds so nice to say, oh, we're getting a park district, but guess who's got to pay? We have to pay, and pay big time. So if you say yes to the referendum because you would like to have a park district, you could be taxed out of your home, even your apartment, because your landlord is not going to eat that extra cost. So residents, please show up at board meetings and make your voice heard. What you want matters, and we want to know what you want this village to look like. Ask questions. Ask questions, and it doesn't matter if somebody doesn't like it if you ask questions. Ask them anyway. And once again, I do not have access to the information like invoices and bills. I just got the bills today, and so I cannot vote yes for bills I can't even understand and don't know, what the stuff is for. I'm not going to do that. And in November, when we get ready to go to the polls, or if you vote early, vote like your life depends on it, because it does. And on a lighter note, please visit the New Hope Community Church Senior Cafe, which is open Monday through Fridays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the cafe. It's not just for lunch, it's for lunch and fun with other people. Thank you, residents.
Thank you so much, Trustee Thompson. If I'm not mistaken, you got Trustee McFadden. J. Mac, what do you got going tonight? Let's give him some good legislative stuff.
Okay. I, too, along with Trustee Williams and Trustee Lewis and the mayor, went to the IML conference. It was one, and
Madam Clerk.
Madam Clerk went too, and we had a wonderful time. This was 111th year for them having this yearly conference, so I enjoyed myself, learned a lot, and look forward to going again. Next, I would like to tell you about Faith Movers Church 425 Exchange have a food pantry every Saturday from 10 to 12. So anybody is welcome. It's not just for University Park, it's for anybody. Come to the food pantry and make sure you stock up everything that they have for you. We go in on Tuesdays and stock up everything, which my husband did earlier, so they ready for y'all, so come on out. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. I think that's everyone. Madam Clerk, you had yours already. Oh, yes, you did. You butted in front of Mr. Chris Vargas. Yes, you did, Madam Clerk. But give me one second. Let me make it brief, because we want to get out of here. Just jokingly. You know what? As the mayor, I'll just make this brief, because you guys are going to hear a lot from me regarding this Park District referendum. Sometimes in leadership, you have to do the things that you know is about the future, and some people just don't understand the perception of it, but you'll get the real facts about it. And at the end of the day, it's up to the residents to be as much as informed as possible, to get the facts about it. Forget the personal things about it. This is a business decision, so I want to make sure that you guys have all the factual information, because I don't know about these people on the board here, but I own a property at 607 Hickok, right down the street at Hickok, and one around the corner there. My property taxes are over $24,000 a year in the village of University Park. But I'll tell you one thing, I would definitely invest $8 to $10 additional a month, or $130 additional a year, to invest in the future of our senior citizens, our youth, our young people, and so on and on. You say think outside the box. We've been there. We've done that. We can't continue to be the Flintstones and the Jetson generation, or we're failing our next generation. So the whole thing is give the people the opportunity to be well informed and let them make the decision on whether they decide to do that. You know, this town was planned at one time for $125,000. 125,000 people. But the crab in the barrel syndrome has stunted the growth. With the major university and all the things going on, just be educated. And I'll say this one thing, and I'll talk about this airport and then just get up out of here. Because this is the thing that happens in our communities. We always fail ourselves by lack of knowledge. And one thing that my dear grandmama, great-grandma Ruth Rudez always told me, she said, Joseph, don't you repeat everything that you hear someone say. Find out the facts and be well informed before you make your decision. So I'm asking you, the residents, to do that. Because a senior citizen with the senior freeze does not have a tax increase at all whatsoever, regardless of the scenario. A veteran with a 70% or more disability does not pay property taxes at all whatsoever. So that's another discussion. I'm not here for that tonight. As the mayor, I'll be glad to stand in front of it because I represent the best of the community. So, I know people have their opportunity to have their decisions, but when you're making your decisions, tell the truth, people. It's not going to cost $810. Joe Rudez is not a darn fool where he's going to put a gun in his head and raise his own property taxes multiple times. When I got 3 or 4 grandkids in the school district, graduated grandkids from the school district, graduated my adult kids from the school district. So it's just a matter of choices. So let's make the best decision. But the good stuff is going on. This third airport is real. It's not a passenger airport as most people thought it was, but it's a cargo airport. And then you can go to the Illinois Department of Transportation's website. And if you know construction people or vendors who are interested, right now they're taking RFPs, a request for proposals for design and build for the cargo airport. The Village of University Park does not have time to continue to be messing around with this nickel-dime stuff. We need to position ourselves economically so we can have a reduced tax rate. My plan is to annex into the footprint of this third airport, because what happens then, University Park is the last community going south before you enter into the airport, and the first community coming north when you go at the airport. If that doesn't tell you that the great economics will happen, because in the business world, everything is happening with e-commerce, logistics, distribution, and manufacturing. So it's all in our area. So support the third airport. Let's get the facts about that. It's right down the street. You go down Black Hawk, you make a right, as they say, to Highland, and go over to Kedzie, make a left. It's right there. It's boat field. The state has acquired just about 98% of the land. So there's some great potential things. The manager said something earlier that I was surprised to hear her say about this restaurant, but we're working diligently. And for people to say that, man, you only a part-time, well, Joseph Emmanuel Rudez III cannot do anything part-time, because the results that this village is reaping is from a full-time effort, and the people will benefit this. So at the end of the day, I'm going to always represent the village in the best interest, because they look at the mayor. If the mayor acts like sometimes the people in the audience do, we'll get nothing going on our community. So at the end of the day, this is what it means to have people without vision. The knowledge provides us a new vision that allows us to see God and His plan for our lives more clearly. Without this vision, Mrs. Morgan, it's very disruptive, and you make our community look bad, because all our people in our community are not like you. I'll have a motion for adjournment, please. No, I'm not. I'm going to finish my statement. So for those people who are interested in what I want to say, it takes a great commitment to move this community forward. As a senior person that's been here 18 years, approaching soon, this village has come a long way, and we're doing better than we've done in a long, long time. And the future is extremely bright. Plant a seed for the next generation. But what does it mean without vision? The people perish. This knowledge provides a new vision that allows us to see God and His plan for our lives more clearly. Without this vision, we are left to wander in the dark, down a path that ultimately leads to destruction. With that being said, may I have a motion for adjournment, please? Madam Clerk, I'll give you the courtesy and respect. Please continue and lead us out of here.
Thank you. Together we stand, divided we fall. It is time for us as a community, as a country, to come together and do what we need to do. You still have a few days to register to vote in the upcoming. This will be probably the most significant election in our history. I can't sit here and tell you who to vote for, but to remind you, your vote is your voice. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. May I have a motion for adjournment? Moved by McFadden, second by Brooks. All in favor? Opposed by the same sign? None. Thank you so much. God bless. Have a great night.